Alright, so just when I thought we were done for the month, the Nintendo Direct rumors and speculation keeps it going in full swing. We have some really spicy new information over the past day or two that really indicates that a Nintendo Direct is happening soon. Now, whether or not it's going to be in January or February, I think that's a little bit interesting, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. But we have two pieces of crazy information that, depending on how you view it, may or may not mean that a Nintendo Direct is imminent. And I mean imminent. So let's talk about this. So this first piece of information I'm pulling from Reset Era, Neoxon when Reset Era posted it, but it was originally posted from a user, eBobbins, on Discord, so full credit to them. But basically, the title IDs, or the NSUIDs, for Advance Wars and Tears of the Kingdom have been updated. If you don't know what this is, essentially it's just like a metadata string of characters that pertain to a specific game. Update files have these, that kind of thing. Both of these were updated in January. If you look at the image here, in December, you can see the numbers were obviously different, and in January, they are very different. In fact, Tears of the Kingdom straight up didn't have one before, other than just T-Law's TOTK. So now it actually has those title IDs, that NSUID, which is pretty big. I think in the past, with DLC and stuff like that, when this stuff gets updated in the eShop, we typically see something pertaining to it within a few weeks. So the running theory here would be, at least for Tears of the Kingdom, that pre-orders will go up soon. I guess the same could be said for Advance Wars, though. I would hope that game is just being released soon, but I'm sure they'll have a pre-order period again also. So that right there is huge. I think that's definitely the biggest piece of news here to kind of chew on. That means something is happening. These games are being updated on Nintendo's servers. That means there is announcements coming within the next few weeks. It's just a matter of when. Now, does that mean Direct? Does that mean Twitter drop? Who knows? They could do a Twitter drop, I guess. Obviously, we're going to try to be optimistic here, and we all want a Nintendo Direct, so we're going to say it's a Nintendo Direct. Now, before we get to the next thing, I do want to quickly talk about when that Nintendo Direct may be. Now, a couple days ago, I did a video, bad news for Nintendo Direct. That was after they announced GoldenEye would be coming. That was very obviously a Nintendo Direct announcement, or something that would have been in a Nintendo Direct, you know? Same thing with the Story of Seasons release dates, and Life is Strange, and Trek to Yomi. All of these things could have been in a Nintendo Direct. So there's been this war between January and February. What month is it going to be? I was optimistically hoping for January, because I just want to see the stuff sooner, but February certainly made more sense. They always do it in February after their earnings calls. However, it looks like we may be getting a best of both worlds scenario here, if just the current speculation is, you know, it's always the next week, right? Currently, if it's next week, and from when I'm posting this, the Direct would be potentially announced on January 31st and air on February 1st. That would be hilarious. Obviously, you know, Team February technically taking the dub, but, you know, January still getting the announcement. So that right there, I just think is really funny. It could kind of be an in-between. They have done that before. I think April 2015 they did that, because it was the April Fool's Direct, so they announced it. It might have been 2 days before, I can't remember exactly. And there are a couple other examples. The 3DS Direct in 2016, the one that made everyone very sad because we wanted to see what the NX was. So they don't do it too often, but they have done it in the past, where it's kind of announced before and then airs ending next month. So that wouldn't be unprecedented, though, like I said, that would still be before their earnings call, so maybe not the most likely. I still think the following week makes more sense, because that would still be after their earnings release. But this next thing is really interesting, and I want to get your all's opinion on this. So, retailer listings, I try not to give them too much credence, but this, in conjunction with the title updates, or the NSUID updates for the other two games, is really interesting to me. So, GameStop in Ireland, of all places, has rated Metroid Prime 4, or at least slapped a rating for the game on their listing page. Peggy 16, nothing crazy, that's what you would expect. And that alone isn't anything, you know, out of the ordinary. Retailers make up stuff all the time. Infamously, a couple years ago, Best Buy, what was it, like Metroid Prime Trilogy and Persona 5 on Switch. This was in like 2019, so like that was obviously not happening. However, it wasn't just GameStop Ireland. Best Buy, once again, going with that, you know, infamously notorious thing that they did wrong, Best Buy did update it with an ESRB rating and has a T rating. It did not have this a few days ago. So, once again, this could just be an employee kind of messing around, predicting it'll be rated at T. It probably will be. But it's just a little weird that not only did GameStop Ireland do it, but Best Buy also did. And not only that, we have a release date shift on Best Buy for Advance Wars. So, late last year, they actually updated their pre-order status for it from I think it was December 31st, 2022, obviously. It got pushed to December 31st, 2026, which is obviously, it's not coming out in 2026, don't worry. They changed it back to not announced, though. So I don't know why they would change that. You know, December 31st, 2026, that's a pretty safe space to be in. You're not overpromising on your pre-order date, so you can't get in trouble. So why remove that? Just a little weird. Once again, that doesn't inherently mean anything, but all of these things combined, it just feels like there's a lot of smoke going on here. Maybe people are reading too much into this, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but to me, this is clearly suggesting some sort of news is coming very soon. Now, I'm personally leading towards this meaning a direct is imminent. Like I said, maybe just, you know, the January 31st, February 1st thing, but more likely February 7th, 8th, and then airing that same week. We don't need a direct, though, and I said this in my bad news for Nintendo Direct video a couple days back. I do believe they could just not do one until probably March. It depends on when Advance Wars is releasing. I hope that game's coming out March or April. So in that case, well, here's the thing with Advance Wars. Advance Wars is weird. I could totally see them just Twitter announcing that release date. I think they probably just want to get it out. They just want to get past it. I was talking to my friend Caleb. This game was done before it released, obviously, last year, before it was supposed to release. They delayed it. I checked the dates. They delayed it on March 9th, 2022, and the game was supposed to come out on April 8th, 2022. That to me says that not only was the game obviously done because a couple people that preloaded the game actually got access to it somehow. That to me says that the game may have even already been manufactured. That's not obvious. Obviously, there's no concrete information on that. And if it was manufactured, we probably would have seen some sort of leak. But a month from release, you know, Nintendo likes to have the stuff ready, right? You know, it's just one of those weird things where Advance Wars, it's had a troubled time. The series has not had a good time ever, really, in America. I feel bad for it. I feel bad for the fans, because certainly sales of this game will be riding on it. But I do wonder if Nintendo just kind of wants to move along with this. Hell, even if there is a Nintendo Direct, I do wonder, will this game even be in it? I think they could totally just do this on Twitter maybe next week, and then the following week we get a Direct, and it's not even mentioned there. It just seems there's just too much, you know, negative energy surrounding Advance Wars, I feel like. But yeah, let me know what you think. And of course, do you think, if all this is true, obviously we'll be seeing Tears of the Kingdom in the Direct, there's no doubt about that. Do you think, though, that Metroid Prime 4 will be there? Do you think the retailer listings updating to, say, ESRB rating and PEGI rating indicate that we will see Metroid Prime 4? That one wasn't obvious. That one wasn't, you know, guarantee we're going to see this game at the Nintendo Direct, whenever that is. I was personally leaning more towards a June, like E3 style Direct showing for that game, depending on when it comes out. Personally, if it's not coming out this year, I don't really think they're going to show it. So that, if we see it, that would indicate it's coming out this year, which is awesome. But then that makes you question where Prime 1 Remake is, or Prime Trilogy, whatever it ends up being. I don't know. It's just a lot. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. There's a lot of Metroid, a lot of Zelda, a lot of Advance Wars speculation, a lot of theories going on about this Nintendo Direct. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. What side of the camp are you on? Do you not believe these updates on the ESRB and the NSUIDs, or are you more leaning into the hype, giving in, and hoping for a Nintendo Direct very soon? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Of course, if you are new here, please consider subscribing for more Nintendo topics like this one, basically every day. And subscribe to make sure you don't miss them. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter @BoTalksMedia. Check out my Discord, that is linked down below. And until next time, folks, peace.